Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're starting the day off with this McDonald's order going 2.6 miles for $8.50. Pretty good order to start off the day because yesterday was horrible. My acceptance rate plummeted and I'm down to 65%. So today's main goal is just to get my acceptance rate back up above 70. I know some people are going to say, oh, acceptance rate doesn't matter. But if you're in a very oversaturated market like I am, it does matter a lot and does play a role in the orders you get. Anyways, I dropped off that McDonald's order, and that McDonald's order had a $3 tip on it. Pretty good order to start off the day. My next order I was not as fortunate with. It's a double order, same customer, 11.9 miles for $13. Picked up the burritos first. Now this stack is really weird because they sent me to a Starbucks that's 4 miles away, and the Mexican place was right next to me, and the customer was 3 miles from the Mexican place, and it's in my city. So this Starbucks order really just threw it off, but I only ended up like 3 miles away from where I was starting initially anyway. So it's really not that bad because it doesn't leave me 11 miles out. Anyways, I dropped off that order there and I received $2 in tips from this customer. I deliver to him kind of often. He never really tips more than $1 on his orders, but it's okay. We got it done pretty quick. My next order was this one going from Tasty Dim Sum House, 10.5 miles for $18.75. Not the worst order. It is leaving me 10 miles out, but it's mostly freeway and not too bad of a drive. So I went ahead and I had to wait a little bit for the order, but eventually I got that picked up and secured the bag. Headed to the drop-off. There was a little traffic on the freeway, actually. Weird for 9 a.m. But dropped that off, and I ended up receiving a $10 tip on it. Surprised it didn't pay out a little better, because $10 tips are pretty rare in my area. But nonetheless, it was a pretty quick order, so I can't complain. Drove back to my zone after the dim sum order, and I got this PetSmart order. 17-item shopping pay for $14.75, 6-ish miles, and it was all just 17 cans of this little, like, dog food. The reason I accept the high items at like PetSmart or Petco is usually because it's a lot of duplicates, so that doesn't really worry me as much as if it were like a grocery store or something. And here's a video of me almost walking into a pole because I wasn't paying attention. But anyways, I got that shopped for. I had to refund one of them because they didn't have one of the flavors and she didn't want anything else. While I was driving to the drop-off, I got this order from Starbucks. It's $7 for 1.5 miles. Got that picked up. It was sitting ready for me on the shelf. Went ahead and dropped that order off. I forget exactly what the tip is, but I'll put the full payout up on screen right now. It only took 8 minutes. That's not very common in my area for an order to take 8 minutes. Usually, minimum 20. So I went ahead and dropped the dog food off as well, and that one ended up having a $4 tip on it. The bags, I was concerned they were going to rip, but they didn't, so I got lucky. And while I may have been lucky on the previous order that the bags didn't rip, I was very unlucky with this Chick-fil-A order. Had to wait a little bit for it too. I had like a little bit of downtime. 2.3 miles for $4.50. Nothing more to say about this. Got it picked up. It was going to like some teenagers. It was a hand to me too. It was like, I would say 12-year-olds, but yeah, understandable why there was no tip. Almost immediately after completing the Chick-fil-A order, I got this 3.1 for $5 from Alberto's. Yeah, again, not pleased about this, but I went ahead and picked it up anyway. Gotta raise the acceptance rate, So there's the order, got it picked up, and lucky for me at least, while I was in there, I got this add-on from Taco Bell, going 1.4 miles for $7.64. Went ahead and picked that up. Kind of happy with this because it saved that Alberto's order. I was not happy with the $5, but I was lucky enough to get this Uber one that made the trip worth it. So I went ahead and picked both of those up. Dropped off the Taco Bell first. They tip better, so dropped them off first, and they were closer to Taco Bell and on the way, so it just made sense to anyway. The tip is up on screen. I forget exactly what it was. But following that delivery, I ended up heading to the Alberto's drop-off where I completed that order for my grand total of my whole $1 tip. Wow, I'm so surprised, huh? After that, I got this order, Chick-fil-A, 1.7 miles for $8.04. This ended up being a mistake. Main road was shut down, and I had to take a longer route, and it ended up taking like 23 minutes with the traffic as well. Overall, just a mess. I ended up going home after this order for a little bit, and I figured I'd just wait until closer to dinner time to go back out. At this point of the day, I was annoyed. The traffic was horrible, streets were being closed, the orders weren't paying out well, but to put the icing on the cake, all of those low-paying orders I took, my acceptance rate didn't even move up one. I know how it works, you have to clear out the past 100, but still, I was just a little bit annoyed that I hadn't moved a single percent. So I went back out in the evening. My first order back out was this 3.6 for $14.50 double order. Now, given my day, this has been a pretty good order. Got both of those picked up. They were sitting ready for me. So I grabbed them, dropped off to the first person and got that order done. Dropped off to the second person and got that order done as well. One order ended up having a $3 and some change tip on it, and the other one ended up having a $4 and some change tip on it. Now, starting off with this order back out, I did have high hopes for tonight, but as you will see as the video progresses on, this good luck does not continue on, and it only progressively gets worse than the daytime. My next order up was this Cold Stone order paying out $8 for 4.3 miles. I thought it was cool because I got the old UI, but what wasn't cool was this add-on they gave me, additional 3.8 miles for $4.75. It was 2 bobas from a soup place. They didn't even order actual food. But I guess I'm just delivering snacks out here. Dropped off the ice cream, the Cold Stone, whatever you want to call it. Dropped that off and got a $2.50 tip on that. And I dropped off the boiling point, which is just bobas. And yes, this is real footage of me dropping it off. Not a single porch light. Couldn't see what the heck I was doing. And yeah. Pretty self-explanatory that there was no tip on that. Now, despite that, shortly after I got this LA Express order going 3.1 miles for $9. Can't complain, honestly. That's a pretty good order for the day I've been having. So I was actually pretty hyped with this order, and it made it even better. Got the $7.25 for 0.2 extra miles add-on to the same customer. I did have to wait I'd say 7 minutes, but it's okay because they just had me grab the drinks anyway, and then I used the bathroom as well. So ultimately, I didn't actually end up waiting that long. But anyways, got the order for that. And this order actually ended up being bigger than the LA Express order, which I was kind of surprised with because it seemed like it was their second option. But either way, I ended up dropping that off. The first order paid out the full $7.25 with a $3.50 tip on the Wingstop. And the LA Express order ended up paying out the $9 with the $4 tip. Overall, a pretty good order for the night I was having. Was very hyped with this stack. Now, my next order I ended up gambling on a little bit. I got this order here from Tacos E Moss, paying out $14.13 for 5.7 miles double order. Only thing is, her second order was alcohol. I didn't feel like doing no alcohol order, so I canceled the alcohol, assuming that I'd get half of the pay. Well, during that delivery, I actually had the bag fall through on me. I pulled the bag out of the car and the bottom of it just straight up fell through. The stuff had spilled and all that. So I ended up cleaning it to the best of my ability. And I just gave her the plastic bag that was inside the cardboard bag. And, I just cleaned that up and didn't give her the cardboard bag. And she ended up actually upping her tip. She didn't even find out about this or anything. I just, dealt with it. But I honestly can't complain. Immediately after that mess, I got this dookie order, 4.8 miles for $5.25. Not great, but like I said at the beginning, still trying to get my acceptance rate up. So I picked up the Buffalo Wild Wings. Of course, they couldn't stack anything onto my order, but it's whatever. Went ahead and dropped that off, and I'm sure, as everybody can assume and guess by the upfront payout, 0 tip. As if things couldn't get worse, this order also had a problem. McDonald's, 2.3 miles, $7.04. Very quick pickup from the drive-thru. There was only one other car in the drive-thru. But here's where the problem arises. They left no apartment number, nothing. And it was one of those orders where it said leave at door in the notes, but it was a meet at door and it needed a pin. Phone calls were just going through saying the number isn't in service, and the text, no reply. So I waited down the timer, the 8 minutes goes up, and I complete the order. As I'm driving off, she finally starts calling me, and I'm like, yeah, I waited the 8 minutes, it's policy or whatever, and, she contacted support for a refund or whatever. Since I waited the 8 minutes, I still got paid out the full tip, and her rating won't count if she tries to rate me bad or take her tip away. My next order, I was about to call it quits, and then I got this GrubHub order, 3.5 miles for $8.52. Went ahead and got that picked on up, and I dropped that off. Ended up receiving a $1 tip on the order. Not great, but you know, that's usually the normal tip on GrubHub, so I can't really be complaining. Anyways, time to recap on the day. Very messy day, and I took a lot of trash orders that I didn't want to take. What's most frustrating, my acceptance rate didn't even move. I did miss out on this order. I hit accept, and of course my reception wasn't working, and it literally timed out. I was very mad about that, and that ended up dropping me to 64, and one order ended up bringing me up to 65. Ended up making $113.25 on DoorDash, $38.56 on Uber Eats, and $8.52 on GrubHub for a grand total of $160.33. Worked a total of 6 hours, drove a total of 102.5 miles, leaving me with a total of $26.72 an hour and $1.56 per mile, including all the dead miles. Disaster Tuesday, but hopefully tomorrow will be better. If y'all liked the video, like and subscribe if you are new. But with that being said, I will see y'all on the next one.